Welcome to the Life Science Coach. In today's lecture, we will explore one of the most fascinating biological processes in human life: pregnancy. Pregnancy begins with the fertilization of an egg by a sperm and continues through a series of remarkable developmental stages that ultimately lead to the birth of a baby. During this journey, the embryo develops into a fetus, supported by the placenta and regulated by various hormones. In this lecture, we will discuss fertilization, implantation, embryonic and fetal development, hormonal control of pregnancy, maternal changes, labor, childbirth, and lactation. This topic is important for BSc and Master of Science Life Science students, as well as aspirants preparing for competitive examinations such as CSIR-UGC NET, CSET, and NEET. So, let's begin our journey through the biology of pregnancy from fertilization to childbirth. Learning objectives: brief YouTube explainer script. Before we begin, let's look at the learning objectives of this lecture. By the end of this session, you will be able to define pregnancy and understand how it begins with fertilization. You will learn the process of implantation, the formation and functions of the placenta, and the major stages of embryonic and fetal development. We will also discuss the hormones involved in maintaining pregnancy, the physiological changes that occur in the mother's body, and the importance of prenatal care. Finally, we will understand the process of labor, childbirth, and lactation. These concepts form the foundation for understanding human reproduction and developmental biology. What is pregnancy? Detailed YouTube explainer script. Now let us understand the concept of pregnancy in detail. Pregnancy is the physiological condition in which a female carries a developing embryo and later a fetus within her uterus. It begins with the fertilization of an ovum by a sperm and ends with the birth of the baby. This entire process represents one of the most complex and fascinating events in human biology. After fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube, the resulting zygote undergoes several rounds of cell division and eventually reaches the uterus, where it implants into the uterine lining. Once implantation is successful, pregnancy is established, and the developing organism receives nourishment and protection from the mother. The average duration of human pregnancy is approximately 40 weeks or 280 days. Clinically, this period is calculated from the first day of the woman's last menstrual period, commonly referred to as the LMP. Pregnancy is generally divided into 3 trimesters, each characterized by specific developmental milestones and physiological changes. During pregnancy, the mother's body undergoes remarkable adaptations. Hormones such as progesterone, estrogen, and human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG, help maintain the uterine environment, support fetal development, and prepare the body for childbirth and lactation. The cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, and endocrine systems all adjust to meet the increasing demands of the growing fetus. The developing baby passes through 2 major stages. During the embryonic stage, which extends up to 8 weeks, the foundations of all major organs and body systems are established. After this period, the developing organism is called a fetus, and the remaining months are mainly devoted to growth, maturation, and functional development of organs. Pregnancy is not merely the growth of a baby inside the uterus. It is a highly coordinated biological process involving continuous communication between the mother and the developing fetus through the placenta. This temporary organ supplies oxygen and nutrients to the fetus while removing metabolic wastes, ensuring proper growth and survival. Therefore, pregnancy can be defined as a carefully regulated reproductive process that nurtures and protects a developing offspring from fertilization until birth, ultimately ensuring the continuation of the human species. Fertilization. Now that we understand what pregnancy is, let us begin with the very first step in human reproduction: fertilization. Fertilization is the process by which a male gamete, the sperm, fuses with a female gamete, the ovum or egg, to form a single diploid cell called the zygote. This event marks the beginning of a new human life. In humans, fertilization usually occurs in a specific region of the fallopian tube known as the ampulla. During sexual intercourse, millions of sperm are deposited in the female reproductive tract. However, only a few hundred sperm are able to reach the vicinity of the ovum, and ultimately only 1 sperm successfully penetrates the egg. When the sperm reaches the ovum, it must first pass through several protective layers surrounding the egg. Specialized enzymes released from the sperm help it penetrate these layers. Once a sperm successfully enters the ovum, the egg membrane undergoes changes that prevent any additional sperm from entering. This mechanism is known as the block to polyspermy and ensures normal development. Following sperm entry, the nuclei of the sperm and ovum move toward each other and fuse. This fusion restores the diploid chromosome number of 46 chromosomes, with 23 chromosomes contributed by each parent. The resulting cell is called a zygote, which contains the complete genetic blueprint for a new individual. Fertilization is extremely important because it combines genetic material from both parents, restores the normal chromosome number, determines many inherited characteristics, and initiates the process of embryonic development. It is the critical event that transforms two specialized reproductive cells into the first cell of a new human being. Therefore, fertilization represents the biological starting point of pregnancy and serves as the foundation for all subsequent stages of development. Key point for students. Sperm, 23 chromosomes, plus ovum, 23 chromosomes, zygote, 46 chromosomes. Implantation. After fertilization, the next crucial step in establishing pregnancy is implantation. Implantation is the process by which the developing blastocyst attaches to and becomes embedded within the lining of the uterus, known as the endometrium. Without successful implantation, pregnancy cannot continue, making this one of the most critical stages in human reproduction. Following fertilization in the fallopian tube, the zygote undergoes repeated mitotic divisions, a process called cleavage. As it travels toward the uterus, it develops into a multicellular structure known as a blastocyst. This journey usually takes about 4 to 5 days. Around 6 to 10 days after fertilization, the blastocyst reaches the uterus and begins the implantation process. The outer layer of the blastocyst, called the trophoblast, plays a major role in attachment and invasion of the uterine lining. Implantation occurs in several stages. First, the blastocyst comes into close contact with the endometrium, a stage known as apposition. Next, it firmly attaches to the uterine wall during adhesion. The trophoblast cells then invade the endometrial tissue, allowing the blastocyst to embed itself deeply within the uterine lining. Finally, the blastocyst becomes completely surrounded by endometrial tissue, securing its position within the uterus. Once implantation is complete, an intimate connection is established between the mother and the developing embryo. The endometrium provides nourishment, oxygen, and protection, while the trophoblast eventually contributes to the formation of the placenta. Implantation also triggers important hormonal changes. The developing embryo begins producing human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG, the hormone detected in pregnancy tests. This hormone maintains the corpus luteum and ensures continued production of progesterone, which is essential for maintaining pregnancy. The significance of implantation cannot be overstated. It establishes contact between the embryo and the mother, initiates placental development, supports nutrient exchange, and creates the conditions necessary for further embryonic growth and development. If implantation fails, the embryo cannot survive, and pregnancy does not occur. In some cases, abnormal implantation can result in complications such as ectopic pregnancy or early miscarriage. Therefore, implantation represents the successful establishment of pregnancy and marks the beginning of a close biological relationship between the mother and the developing embryo. Embryonic development. Once implantation is complete, the embryo begins a period of rapid growth and development known as embryonic development. This stage extends from fertilization until the end of the 8th week of pregnancy. During this short but critical period, the basic body plan and all major organ systems begin to form. The fertilized egg first develops into a zygote, then a morula, and later a blastocyst, which implants into the uterine wall. Following implantation, specialized cells differentiate and organize into tissues and organs. By the end of the embryonic period, important structures such as the brain, spinal cord, heart, eyes, ears, digestive system, and limb buds have already begun to develop. In fact, the heart starts beating as early as the 4th week. Because the foundations of all major organs are established during this stage, the embryo is highly sensitive to harmful substances, infections, and nutritional deficiencies. Therefore, proper prenatal care is especially important during the first 8 weeks of pregnancy. At the end of this period, the developing individual is no longer called an embryo but is referred to as a fetus. Fetal development. After the embryonic period ends at 8 weeks, the developing baby enters the fetal stage. This period extends from the 9th week of pregnancy until birth. During fetal development, the focus shifts from the formation of organs to their growth, maturation, and functional development. The fetus increases rapidly in size and weight, while the organ systems become more specialized and efficient. Between 9 and 12 weeks, major organs are already present in a basic form, and movements begin. By the 2nd trimester, facial features become more defined, the skeleton starts hardening, and the mother may begin to feel fetal movements, a phenomenon known as quickening. As pregnancy progresses, the lungs, brain, and nervous system continue to mature. The fetus becomes capable of responding to sounds, light, and external stimuli. During the final trimester, body fat accumulates, organs reach maturity, and the fetus prepares for life outside the womb. Throughout this stage, the placenta and umbilical cord play vital roles in supplying oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. By the end of approximately 40 weeks, the fetus is fully developed and ready for birth. Thus, fetal development is a period of rapid growth and maturation that transforms the tiny embryo into a fully formed human baby. Trimesters of pregnancy. Pregnancy is commonly divided into 3 trimesters, each characterized by specific developmental changes in the fetus and physiological changes in the mother. The first trimester, from 0 to 12 weeks, is the period of organ formation or organogenesis. During this time, the embryo develops into a fetus, the heart begins beating, and all major organ systems start forming. This is also the most sensitive period for developmental abnormalities. Mothers may experience symptoms such as nausea, fatigue, and frequent urination. The second trimester, from 13 to 27 weeks, is often considered the most comfortable stage of pregnancy. The fetus grows rapidly, facial features become more distinct, and the mother can usually feel fetal movements for the first time, known as quickening. The organs continue to mature and become functional. The third trimester, from 28 to 40 weeks, focuses on growth and preparation for birth. The fetus gains weight, accumulates body fat, and the lungs and brain undergo final maturation. Most fetuses move into a head-down position in preparation for delivery. Throughout all 3 trimesters, the mother's body undergoes important cardiovascular, respiratory, hormonal, and metabolic changes to support fetal growth and development. Proper nutrition, regular prenatal care, and a healthy lifestyle are essential during every stage of pregnancy. Thus, each trimester represents a unique phase in the remarkable journey from conception to childbirth. Placenta and umbilical cord. One of the most important structures supporting pregnancy is the placenta, along with the umbilical cord. The placenta is a temporary organ that develops inside the uterus during pregnancy. It acts as a vital connection between the mother and the developing fetus. Through the placenta, oxygen and nutrients from the mother's blood are transferred to the fetus, while carbon dioxide and metabolic waste products are removed. Attached to the placenta is the umbilical cord, which serves as the lifeline between the mother and the baby. The umbilical cord contains 3 blood vessels, 2 umbilical arteries and 1 umbilical vein. The vein carries oxygen-rich blood and nutrients to the fetus, while the arteries transport waste products back to the placenta. In addition to nutrient exchange, the placenta produces important hormones such as human chorionic gonadotropin, progesterone, and estrogen, which help maintain pregnancy and support fetal development. The placenta also acts as a protective barrier, reducing the passage of many harmful substances and helping provide a safe environment for the growing baby. Therefore, the placenta and umbilical cord work together to ensure the fetus receives nourishment, oxygen, protection, and hormonal support throughout pregnancy. A healthy placenta is essential for the normal growth and development of the baby. Labor and birth. After approximately 40 weeks of pregnancy, the final stage of the reproductive journey is labor and childbirth. Labor is the process through which the baby is delivered from the uterus to the outside world. It is initiated by a series of hormonal and physiological changes involving hormones such as oxytocin, prostaglandins, estrogen, and relaxin. These hormones stimulate uterine contractions and prepare the cervix for delivery. Labor is generally divided into 3 main stages. The first stage is the dilation stage, during which the cervix gradually opens from 0 to 10 centimeters. Regular uterine contractions become stronger and more frequent, helping the baby move downward. The second stage is the delivery stage. Once the cervix is fully dilated, the mother begins pushing, and the baby passes through the birth canal and is born. The third stage involves the expulsion of the placenta. After the baby is delivered, the uterus continues to contract, causing the placenta and fetal membranes to separate from the uterine wall and be expelled. Common signs that labor has begun include regular contractions, cervical dilation, rupture of the amniotic sac or water breaking, lower back pain, and increased pelvic pressure. Labor is a remarkable physiological process that marks the successful completion of pregnancy and the beginning of a newborn's independent life outside the womb. Pregnancy does not end with childbirth. After the baby is born, the mother's body enters a recovery phase known as the postpartum period. The postpartum period typically lasts for about 6 weeks after delivery. During this time, the mother's body gradually returns to its pre-pregnancy state while adapting to the physical and emotional demands of caring for a newborn. Several physical changes occur during this period. The uterus gradually shrinks back to its normal size, a process known as involution. Vaginal discharge, called lochia, is common for several weeks as the uterus heals. Hormonal changes also stimulate milk production for breastfeeding. Mothers may experience emotional changes as well. Mild mood swings and emotional sensitivity, often called the baby blues, are common during the first few days after birth. However, persistent sadness, anxiety, or feelings of hopelessness may indicate postpartum depression and should receive medical attention. Proper rest, balanced nutrition, hydration, emotional support, and regular medical follow-up are important for a healthy recovery. Breastfeeding, when possible, also provides benefits for both the mother and the baby. The postpartum period is a time of healing, adjustment, and bonding between the mother and her newborn. With appropriate care and support, most women recover successfully and adapt well to motherhood. Key point for students. Postpartum period equals recovery phase after childbirth, approximately 6 weeks. Methods of delivery. The final stage of pregnancy is the delivery of the baby. There are 2 main methods of childbirth: vaginal delivery and cesarean section, commonly known as a C-section. Vaginal delivery is the natural process in which the baby passes through the birth canal. It is the most common method of childbirth and generally involves a shorter recovery period, lower risk of infection, and earlier mother-baby bonding. In some cases, vaginal delivery may require assistance using medical instruments such as forceps or a vacuum device to help safely deliver the baby. The second method is cesarean section, a surgical procedure in which the baby is delivered through incisions made in the mother's abdomen and uterus. A C-section may be recommended when vaginal delivery is not safe for the mother or the baby. Common reasons for a cesarean section include fetal distress, abnormal fetal position, placenta previa, multiple pregnancies, failure of labor to progress, or certain maternal health conditions. Both vaginal delivery and cesarean section are safe when performed under proper medical supervision. The choice of delivery method depends on factors such as the health of the mother and baby, fetal position, pregnancy complications, and medical recommendations. The ultimate goal of any delivery method is the safe birth of a healthy baby while protecting the well-being of the mother. Lactation and breastfeeding. After childbirth, the mother's body begins another important biological process known as lactation. Lactation is the production and secretion of milk by the mammary glands to nourish the newborn baby. This process is regulated primarily by 2 hormones, prolactin and oxytocin. Prolactin, produced by the anterior pituitary gland, stimulates milk production in the breast tissue. Oxytocin, released from the posterior pituitary gland, causes the milk ejection reflex, allowing milk to flow from the mammary glands to the infant during feeding. Breast milk is considered the ideal source of nutrition for newborns because it contains the right balance of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. It also contains antibodies and immune factors that help protect infants from infections and diseases. In addition to providing nutrition, breastfeeding strengthens the emotional bond between the mother and the baby. It also offers health benefits to the mother, including faster uterine recovery after childbirth and reduced risk of certain diseases. Health organizations recommend exclusive breastfeeding during the first 6 months of life whenever possible, as it supports healthy growth, development, and immunity. Thus, lactation is a vital physiological process that ensures the newborn receives nourishment, protection, and care during the early stages of life. Lactation and breastfeeding. After birth, breastfeeding plays a crucial role in ensuring the health and survival of the newborn. Lactation is the process by which milk is produced and secreted by the mammary glands. This process is controlled by 2 important hormones. Prolactin stimulates the production of milk, while oxytocin triggers the milk ejection or let-down reflex, allowing milk to flow to the baby during feeding. Breast milk is often called the perfect food for infants because it contains all the essential nutrients required for growth and development. It also contains antibodies and immune factors that help protect the baby against infections and diseases. The first milk produced after childbirth is called colostrum. It is rich in antibodies and acts as the baby's first natural vaccine, providing early immune protection. Breastfeeding offers numerous benefits for both the baby and the mother. For infants, it supports healthy growth, brain development, and immunity. For mothers, it promotes uterine recovery, reduces postpartum bleeding, and strengthens the emotional bond with the baby. Health experts recommend exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life, followed by continued breastfeeding along with complementary foods. Thus, lactation and breastfeeding are essential biological processes that provide nutrition, protection, and emotional support during the early stages of a child's life. Newborn care. After birth, proper newborn care is essential to ensure the baby's survival, healthy growth, and development. The newborn period extends from birth to the first 28 days of life. During this time, babies are highly dependent on their caregivers for warmth, nutrition, protection, and medical care. One of the most important aspects of newborn care is early initiation of breastfeeding. Breastfeeding should ideally begin within the first hour after birth so that the baby can receive colostrum, the antibody-rich first milk that provides immune protection. Maintaining body temperature is also critical because newborns can lose heat rapidly. Keeping the baby warm through proper clothing and skin-to-skin contact helps regulate body temperature and promotes bonding. Good hygiene practices, including proper umbilical cord care and hand washing, help prevent infections. Newborns should also receive recommended vaccinations such as BCG, OPV, and hepatitis B according to national immunization schedules. Parents should be aware of warning signs such as fever, difficulty breathing, poor feeding, excessive sleepiness, repeated vomiting, or severe jaundice, which require immediate medical attention. In addition to physical care, emotional bonding is equally important. Holding, cuddling, talking, and responding to the baby help support healthy emotional and neurological development. Thus, proper newborn care during the first few weeks of life lays the foundation for a healthy childhood and future well-being. Maternal and newborn health. Maternal and newborn health are closely connected, and ensuring the well-being of both is one of the primary goals of healthcare systems worldwide. Maternal health refers to the health of a woman during pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. Newborn health focuses on the survival, growth, and development of the baby during the first weeks and months of life. Good maternal and newborn health begins even before conception and continues through pregnancy, delivery, and postnatal care. Regular antenatal checkups, balanced nutrition, adequate rest, immunization, and skilled medical care significantly improve outcomes for both mother and baby. For mothers, proper healthcare reduces the risk of complications, promotes faster recovery, and improves overall quality of life. For newborns, it ensures healthy growth, stronger immunity, better nutrition, and improved chances of survival. Essential practices include taking iron and folic acid supplements, attending regular health checkups, avoiding harmful substances such as tobacco and alcohol, and maintaining good hygiene. For newborns, early breastfeeding, vaccination, warmth, and regular growth monitoring are critical. Despite medical advances, challenges such as poor nutrition, limited healthcare access, poverty, and lack of awareness still affect maternal and child health in many parts of the world. Therefore, healthcare professionals, families, and communities all play important roles in supporting mothers and newborns. In summary, investing in maternal and newborn health not only saves lives but also contributes to healthier families, stronger communities, and a healthier future generation. Summary and key takeaways. Let us conclude today's lecture by reviewing the key concepts we have learned about pregnancy and human development. Pregnancy begins with fertilization, where a sperm and an ovum fuse to form a zygote. The zygote undergoes cell divisions, develops into an embryo, and eventually becomes a fetus after implantation in the uterus. Throughout pregnancy, the placenta plays a vital role by supplying oxygen and nutrients to the developing fetus while removing waste products. The fetus grows and matures over approximately 40 weeks, passing through 3 trimesters of development. At the end of pregnancy, labor and childbirth bring the baby into the outside world. Following birth, lactation and breastfeeding provide essential nutrition, immunity, and emotional bonding between the mother and the infant. Proper newborn care, immunization, hygiene, and regular health monitoring are crucial for healthy growth and development. Likewise, maternal health before, during, and after pregnancy greatly influences the well-being of both mother and child. The most important message from this lecture is that every stage from fertilization and fetal development to childbirth and newborn care is interconnected. Good nutrition, medical care, education, and family support contribute to healthy mothers, healthy babies, and healthier communities. Understanding pregnancy helps us appreciate the remarkable biological processes that ensure the continuation of human life. Key takeaway: fertilization, implantation, fetal development, pregnancy, childbirth, lactation, newborn care. Final summary and key takeaways. As we come to the end of this lecture, let us revisit the remarkable journey of human life from conception to newborn care. The process begins with fertilization, where a sperm and an ovum unite to form a zygote. This zygote undergoes multiple cell divisions, develops into an embryo, and later into a fetus. Through implantation and placental support, the developing baby receives oxygen, nutrients, and protection throughout pregnancy. Pregnancy lasts approximately 40 weeks and is divided into 3 trimesters, each marked by important developmental milestones. At the end of this period, labor and childbirth bring the baby safely into the outside world. Following birth, lactation and breastfeeding provide ideal nutrition, immunity, and emotional bonding. Proper newborn care, including warmth, hygiene, breastfeeding, immunization, and regular health monitoring, ensures healthy growth and development. We have also learned that maternal health, nutrition, prenatal care, family support, and access to healthcare are essential for successful pregnancy outcomes. Every stage of this journey is interconnected, and the health of the mother directly influences the health of the baby. The key message from this lecture is simple: healthy pregnancies, safe deliveries, proper breastfeeding, and good newborn care create the foundation for a healthy future generation. Thank you for joining this session. I hope this lecture has helped you understand the fascinating biology of pregnancy and human development. Final takeaway: fertilization, embryo, fetus, pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, newborn care. Closing message: healthy mothers build healthy families. Healthy babies build a healthy future. Final summary and key takeaways. As we conclude this lecture, let's take one final look at the incredible journey of human life. Everything begins with fertilization, where the fusion of a sperm and an egg forms a zygote. This single cell undergoes continuous divisions and develops into an embryo and later a fetus. Throughout pregnancy, the placenta supports the growing baby by supplying nutrients, oxygen, and protection. Over approximately 40 weeks, the fetus grows and matures inside the uterus. At the end of pregnancy, labor and childbirth safely bring the baby into the outside world. Following birth, breastfeeding provides ideal nutrition, immunity, and emotional bonding, while proper newborn care ensures healthy growth and development. Vaccination, hygiene, warmth, and regular health monitoring are essential during the first days and months of life. We have also learned that maternal health is directly linked to newborn health. Good nutrition, prenatal care, skilled healthcare services, family support, and community awareness all contribute to positive pregnancy outcomes. The most important lesson is that every stage of development from fertilization to newborn care is interconnected. When mothers receive proper care and babies receive proper nutrition and protection, families and communities become healthier and stronger. Understanding pregnancy is not only important for biology students but also helps us appreciate the remarkable processes that sustain and continue human life. Key takeaway: life's journey. Fertilization, implantation, fetal development, pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, newborn care. Closing message: healthy mothers, healthy babies, healthy future. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Life Science Coach for more life science lectures. Thank you. And closing message. With this, we come to the end of our lecture on pregnancy, from fertilization to childbirth and newborn care. Today, we explored the complete journey of human development from fertilization and implantation to fetal growth, pregnancy, labor, childbirth, lactation, and newborn care. Each stage plays a vital role in ensuring the birth and healthy development of a new individual. We also learned how maternal health, proper nutrition, prenatal care, breastfeeding, immunization, and family support contribute to the well-being of both mother and child. The most important lesson from this topic is that healthy mothers and healthy babies are the foundation of a healthy society. Proper knowledge, timely medical care, and informed health practices can significantly improve maternal and child health outcomes. I hope this lecture has helped you understand the fascinating biological processes involved in pregnancy and human reproduction. Thank you for watching and supporting the Life Science Coach. If you found this lecture helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more life science, zoology, and human physiology lectures. Keep learning, keep growing, and stay curious about the science of life. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture. Closing message: healthy mothers, healthy babies, healthy future. Lecture by Dr. Prashant V.C., the Life Science Coach. Thank you. And questions. Before we end this session, let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey we have explored. From the fusion of a single sperm and egg to the birth of a healthy baby, pregnancy is one of the most remarkable biological processes in nature. It involves precise coordination between hormones, organs, tissues, and developmental mechanisms that support the growth of a new human life. Throughout this lecture, we learned about fertilization, implantation, embryonic and fetal development, placental functions, pregnancy changes, labor, childbirth, lactation, breastfeeding, and newborn care. Together, these stages demonstrate the complexity and beauty of human reproduction. Understanding pregnancy is important not only for academic purposes but also for promoting maternal and child health in society. Knowledge empowers us to make informed decisions, support healthy pregnancies, and improve healthcare outcomes. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope this lecture has enhanced your understanding of pregnancy and human development. If you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comments section. Thank you for learning with the Life Science Coach. Closing slide text. Thank you for watching. Lecture by Dr. Prashant V.C., the Life Science Coach. Like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications for more life science lectures. Final message. Every life begins with a journey. Knowledge today, better healthcare tomorrow.